Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, we're back, and hello, everybody out in podcasting land. Hey, good to have you with us. And Conrad, it's great seeing you, and of course, our producer from the border in Texas, Dave Silva.
Well, I'm excited to be with you, man. You've had a lot of moving and shaking going on. Of course, the big AEW pay-per-view, which was an absolute home run. And then, of course, you're back in the saddle again, starting a residency in Arlington, Texas. But tonight, as folks are listening to this, hopefully they're going to be in Nashville, Bridgestone Arena for AEW Blood and Guts. Tickets are on sale now, AEWTIX.com. So if you haven't already, make plans to join Tony tonight in Nashville. But Tony, our topic today is invasion. We're going to pick up where we left off last week. But before we do that, I think we should talk about a pretty big weekend for the Schiavone family. How did it go in Waterloo?
It was pretty cool. We did a couple of things. First of all, we went to the Field of Dreams movie site, which is like an hour east of Waterloo. And we visited there and took pictures, and Jason Taylor, who does, my accounting and also is my CPA guy, he joined us there with his kids, and we got to go out in the cornfield and throw the baseball around, and I bought some shirts. That was really, really cool. Then we went to Waterloo because we were staying in Des Moines, went to Waterloo, had a couple of hotel rooms just for the families to, freshen up and get ready in. Did an autograph signing from 2:30 to 4:30. Met a lot of people I hadn't seen in a long time. And then I had the event that night, which was preceded by a get-together. And then we had a buffet. And then we had the award ceremony, which was really, really good. And I'm checking. Hang on a second. I'm checking. Let me look around here. Yes, I've been told that Tony Gurria is still talking. He is still at the podium right now, and he hasn't shut the fuck up yet. Tony Gurria gave us his whole career, which was, we were all going, oh, God. But then again, it's his moment, right?
Yes.
Take all the time you want, Tony. But it was kind of funny. So I was honored, and it was a lot of fun. It was a struggle getting out. Oh, there we are. There's our picture.
What a Hall of Fame class that is. You see Greg Gagne on the right.
Yeah.
There's Gurria. There's Bruce Pritchard's brother, Dr. Tom.
Yeah.
The one and only Tony Schiavone. There's your man, Arn Anderson. Man, it's a who's who here of bona fide Hall of Famers.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And there we go. There's Arn, me, Dr. Tom, Tony Gurria, and Greg Gagne. Got to see Greg Gagne for the first time since the 90s, which was cool. Got to see Baron von Raschke. He was there. Bob Baruch was there. Nikita Koloff was there. And I know I'm going to miss a couple of people, but it was great seeing the Baron. I told a Baron von Raschke story. And so it was a lot of fun. Then the challenge started because of, thanks to CrowdStrike.
Well, hang on before we get there.
Okay.
First of all, let me just officially, how does it feel to wake up a Hall of Famer this morning? This is your first wrestling Hall of Fame. How cool is that?
Well, it's cool. And the first thing I said when I stood up there was that and you know this, I said, I think I've got it down here somewhere, what I said. I kind of wrote down a few notes, and I kind of wrote down a few notes, and I said, and here's what I said at the beginning. I said, I've shied away from Hall of Fames. And that's because I've always felt that this was for the guys and the girls who took bumps in the ring or in the match. But when Gerald Briscoe called me, I could not say no. So how does it feel? I'm really honored. I don't want to downplay it. I don't want to make the Hall of Fame seem insignificant. But it's not a big deal to me, Conrad. You know that. I think it's a bigger deal to fans, maybe the fans, and I really appreciate the fans being there. Like I said, Jason Taylor was there, Coach Rosie was there, Denovius Mack was there, um, Lenny Bakken was there. I think Lenny is a supporter of that Hall of Fame, if I'm correct.
Bryant was there. Amy was there.
Right, Amy was there, and so I saw a lot of our, and I'm honored they would come up. I mean,
oh, your right hand gal from Pittsburgh was there.
Yes.
I mean, you had quite a turnout. I mean,
Megan Nelson was there.
You said it was important to the fans. Was it important to your family? I was really excited that you got so many members of your family there.
Yes, it was. I had 9 members of the family there, and if you're looking on YouTube, to the left there's Tim. Next to him is my granddaughter Olivia. Behind her is my grandson Jackson. Next to her is my daughter Laurie. And then there's me and Lois. And then in the front there's my granddaughter Lizzie, and on the end is my sister Franny. Behind them is my daughter-in-law Jackie and her husband and my son Chris. So they were all there.
Nothing happened in Matt Schiavone. He was down at Walmart in Boaz or something real fancy, right?
He actually had a family vacation, which they had paid for and everything.
Yeah, he listened to this show, and you told him it was going to suck, and he wouldn't want to be there, so he booked a family vacation at the same time.
So it was a great time, and Waterloo and the Hall of Fame is pretty freaking cool. You know, Waterloo's a small city, and I mentioned something about Dan Gable because, you know, I was around in 1972 during the Olympics in Munich when they had and I said they had a terrorist attack, which is very, very well known. But Dan Gable during those Olympics just ran through the competition. I mean, ran through the competition and won the gold medal that year. So I said something about him, although I didn't get to meet him. He was there the night before. So it was cool. And I'm telling you, Conrad, I was a freaking cool state. The weather was wonderful. I had a lot of fun. Super Dave and his wife were there. James L. Corey is there. James L. Corey is a sponsor of that Hall of Fame. His name is on the he and his podcast. His name is on the rundown list of sponsors. So it was great to see everyone. I don't know if I'm missing anybody.
And then when you're getting ready to leave, as a lot of folks probably saw, even if they weren't traveling this past weekend, they at least had access to social media, where one by one we saw people frustrated with some travel delays. How did that affect you guys?
So the flights, Laurie and I were going to fly out first thing in the morning, and the flight was canceled. So Laurie had to jump on the flight later with the rest of my family or be rebooked. I got an American flight because Delta was one that was really screwed up, and I flew right from 5 a.m. on Saturday morning, flew right to Dallas for the show for our first collision from the eSports Stadium. And my family went to the airport for their 11:11 flight and stayed all day. Kept getting postponed and delayed and postponed, delayed. Finally, about 7 o'clock that night, it was canceled. So I'm on the phone. Actually, probably about, I'd say 5 o'clock that night it was canceled. I'm on the phone with Delta, trying to get them. Hey, can they drive to Minneapolis and fly out? Nope. Can they fly to Chicago and fly out? Nope. And I should have looked for other airlines. And finally I did and found out it was going to be like $2,000 a person to fly them from Chicago on American. So I did make some arrangements for them to get home, even though Delta said they wouldn't get home until Tuesday. I'm thinking, shit. Got them home on Saturday. No, got them home on Sunday morning. So Sunday morning, I go to the airport in Dallas, and I've got a flight where I'm on American, standby flight on American. I got a flight on Delta. I decide I'm going to take the Delta flight because I wake up in the morning, everything's cool and everything's fine. And as soon as I walk out the door, the American flight is gone. The Delta flight is still good. As soon as I walk out the door, they said, your flight's been delayed until 1:47. So I wait to the hotel, get on the shuttle, look at my app. It's been delayed until 1:47 on Monday. So I said, fuck this. Got on the app. Avis bailed me out, and I drove from Dallas, Texas to Atlanta on Sunday. And I found out the flight that I was originally supposed to take Sunday morning at 11 a.m. finally took off last night at midnight. So I would have still been there. But I took the 11-hour trip across I-20. And there you go. This trip ended up probably costing me about 10 grand or 15 grand, like that. But hey, the family loved it. They did. And they were so proud of me. And that makes me feel good, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. They really had, my sister had a wonderful time. My wife, all the grandchildren were great. We had a big meal the night before together. And as you can see, my grandchildren, those are Chris's children that you saw there. They are older. Those are all Chris's children, those two girls in the front and the one boy in the back in the green shirt. And got good kids, got good grandkids. I really do. Very proud of all of them.
You got to give me a good Lois story.
Huh?
You got to give me a good Lois story.
Oh, wow.
I mean, Lois, it's not often that Lois is down to travel. So the idea that she was down to travel and get out of the house and make a trek to Iowa, and there's some travel snafus. There's got to be a fun.
She signed some autographs, which she couldn't believe she was signing autographs, right?
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, she got food poisoning.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. To make matters worse, all day at the Waterloo airport, she got food poisoning and had to spend a lot of it in the bathroom.
Oh my.
Going up. Yeah.
No wonder she didn't want to leave the house.
That's right.
Damnation. I wouldn't want to be blowing it out in an airport.
Yeah. We've got a lot of people on here this morning with us, and we appreciate everybody. I know Devin Downing was the first one. And let's see, Bad Money Slim is with us. Dave McClay, Phil, Celeste is with us. Brian, I never could pronounce Brian's name. Sorry. Luke is here. Let's see. Devin wanted to know, Alex Wheaton is here. Josh is here. Devin wanted to know, was delays because of weather? No, it was because of CrowdStrike, which is a security firm, updated their computers. They did their Windows Microsoft update. And they're still, it fucked up a lot of the airlines, but Delta most of all. And Delta is still having problems. I drove from, like I said, from Dallas to Atlanta, dropped the car off at 2 a.m. on Sunday, or 2 a.m. on Monday. Walked in the rental car center, and there was a lot, where 2 a.m. on Monday, there was a line 4 deep. And went into the airport, got on the shuttle and got my car. And the airport was like it was right in rush hour, 2:00 in the morning. I mean, people have been stranded. People have missed funerals. They've missed weddings. It's been a nightmare for Delta Airlines. And so it's been brutal. It was the absolute worst time to travel that we could ever pick. And it just so happened to be on Hall of Fame weekend. But Hall of Fame is great. Got a plaque, got memories that we'll never forget. Really, memories we'll never forget. I wish I've opened my eyes on that picture. Memories that we will never forget. And and a great Schiavone story. Hey, remember that time when you were at the airport in Waterloo,
Blowing
waiting on a
ass.
plane. Yeah, and Lois was throwing up all day.
Your life is a movie, Tony Schiavone.
Yeah, yeah, it is. So thank you, Conrad. I know you were a big part of this.
Oh, come on. I'm just
Don't go and see. Don't. Oh, come on, me. I know you. You're part of the board of that, and I thanked you for the in 2017 turning my life around.
What a crazy story. If I would have told you in 2024 or 2017, hey, Tony, fast forward to 2024, 7 years from now, and then rattle off everything you've done in the last few years with AEW, I don't think you or I would have believed it.
I would have said bullshit. I would have said bullshit. I'll be pouring coffee the rest of my life. I did mention Jackie Crockett. I mentioned all the Crockett family, but I mentioned Jackie Crockett in particular. Jackie, we just had his memorial service. Jackie had told me something very early in my career because I was working closely with Jackie. All those old Tony Schiavone stand-ups in the Crockett studio or the Crockett garage were shot by Jackie Crockett as a cameraman. Jackie told me years ago, and this was one of the first things he told me, he was always good with advice. Jackie told me, he says, as a cameraman, and I know I'm a member of the Crockett family, but as a cameraman, my job is to make the talent look good. And he said, that's what my job is. It's not about me being a Crockett. It's not about me being a cameraman. It's about me making the talent look good. And he said, you need to approach announcing the same way. It's not about you. It's about making the talent look good. And I've always remembered that. And I've always approached it that way. Now, later in my career, we try to be a little bit more entertaining, but still, the idea has always been to make the talent, elevate the talent, make them seem larger than life. And so I've talked about that. And that was really a moment that has stuck with me through all these years, 40 years later, 41 years later. There you go.
Well,
and of course, I thank Tony Khan. Mike Dawkins. Absolutely. Mike Dawkins was there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there you go.
Pondwater Dave.
Yeah, I mentioned Pondwater Dave was and his wife were there.
Who had more fun at Hall of Fame than Pondwater Dave?
I don't know. He had a big smile on his face.
Absolutely, he did.
Yeah. Right.
He got Sergeant Slaughter to put the Cobra clutch on him. He was all kind of excited.
Did Sarge give him one of his coins?
Of course he did.
I think Sarge, every time he puts a Cobra clutch on, he gives you a coin.
Yeah, as long as you got like $30.
Yeah.
You're all set.
Of course, JBL was there, and he was so freaking entertaining. Oh my God.
In real life, is he not one of the most charming, hilarious, witty dudes you've ever hung out with?
One of the funniest guys, one of the better speakers.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if it was him. It couldn't have been him. Somebody was talking about Sergeant Slaughter being stiff. And that was hilarious. But there you go.
Well, I'm glad that you are finally taking your rightful place in the TNT Hall of Fame. The Gordon Soley Award. Pretty awesome. Gordon Soley, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone. My goodness.
Conrad Thompson.
Well.
Hey, there you go. You asked me about who you excited about the Hall of Fame, and I go, kind of. And then I ask you, and you go, see, we're the same. There you go.
Well, but you're like a bona fide legend Hall of Famer. I'm a slapdick podcaster.
Look what you've done to wrestling podcasts.
Oh, shut up.
I mean, come on.
Can we just talk about your stinky nuts? Can we just do that for a minute? Because I know that it's summertime. And I know that, Chris Schiavone, he was stuck in the airport for hours and hours and hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine by the time he got settled in, his grundle, can you imagine how bad the area between his cock and nuts and asshole smelled by the time he got home?
Grundle?
Yeah, his grundle, his package, his gooch, his taint.
I didn't know that was a grundle.
It's summertime, boys.
Talk about your grundle.
Let's talk about how we can stay cleaner and fresher and smell better, longer.
Oh, Mando. Yes, I love Mando.
Let's stop some odor before it starts. It's safe for your whole body, your pits, your package, your feet, and everywhere in between. It's been clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours, which is roughly what it took Chris Schiavone to get home. And I'm just here to tell you that there is no comparison. I'm talking about no comparison about just trying to control your odor with shower and soap and water alone. If you take the average man's grundle odor after 12 hours of just walking around the real world after a shower, 12 hours after a shower, he's a 5 out of 10 on that stank factor. But with Mando, the average grundle odor level is a 0 out of 10.
Wow.
Chris Schiavone, when he unbuckled his pants back in Georgia.
Hold on a second. My son.
Well, he had stinky nuts. It runs in the family. It's your fault.
Well, don't do play-by-play. He unbuckled his pants. He whipped it down. He pulled out his wank.
I didn't say any of that. I'm just saying.
You started about unbuckled his pants. I thought you were going to go pull down his underwear.
No.
Okay.
So you remember Snoopy? Those Linus, and he was smelly, and they had to draw lines on it to smell. Well, that was Schiavone. Yeah, Pigpen. There you go.
Yeah.
So Pigpen was like coming up out of his gimmick, you see. That was the Grundle monster. And we're trying to get you to trap that thing. Get rid of the Grundle. Get rid of the stank. Here's what we're talking about. I mean this sincerely. This is a great product. It's good for your whole body, your belly buttons, your butt cracks, your stomach folds, your feet, your stinky crevices. It was legitimately created by a doctor who saw firsthand legitimately how BO was just being misdiagnosed and mistreated. This is whole body deodorant that's powerful enough for the toughest body odor, but gentle enough to use everywhere, even your gooch and your family jewels. It's a I don't know why that made you laugh.
Grundle and gooch. My God, we're making up shit, man. Tune into what happened when. We're making up shit.
We're not. We're trying to get everybody. We want Slapdick Nation to not smell like Slapdick Nation.
Yeah.
We want you to try Mando because it's aluminum free. It's baking soda free. It's cruelty free. It's dye free. And we want you to be stink free. It's even vegan. So Brian Danielson would approve. Mando starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with solid stick deodorant, which is great if you're Chris Schiavone. It's also got a cream tube deodorant, which is great if you're Chris Schiavone's wife. And it's got 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash and the deodorant wipes, and free shipping. Luckily, I've got a discount code to get you hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That's like 40% off your starter pack. Just use the code WHW at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com, shopmando.com, and the promo code is WHW.
Yeah, they have more than just the items you put on your body after the shower. They have soap for the shower as well. So they got you covered.
Mando's the real deal, man.
By the time you spend your grundle and your, what was the other one
gooch.
You called? The gooch and the grundle. Oh,
so where are you at? Are you a gooch guy, a grundle guy, or a tank guy?
I guess I'm a grundle guy. I'm afraid to answer that, so I just throw out one.
Well, I mean, like growing up, did you say tank or did you say gooch or your Jesus zipper? How did you describe it?
Balls.
No, below that.
Below. We didn't give it a fucking name.
All right.
Hey, hanging out with my friends, say, hey, what do we call this right here? What are you talking about right here? Say right here, right there. What do you call that? This is a Craigsville, Virginia discussion. What do you call that right there?
Oh, let me play along. Wow, Tony, that's the tank. You see, it tank balls and it tanked assholes.
You take me for no fools on the
so it's the tank. So where does the tank go from?
Well,
how?
It goes to smelling good at shopmando.com when you use our code WHW because we got the best smelling taints in all of wrestling podcasting.
Well, then in the future in 2024, let's order it.
You and I might be the Tank Team Express.
I love the Teen Express. So tell me, Conrad, how do I get this Mando?
You pull up your computer machine and you type it in the search bar like Arn Anderson. You just go SHOPMANDO
Wait a minute.
period COM, and then they're going to ask you for a code. And you put in WHW, like what happened when your tank quit stinking all the damn time.
Okay, so is that like Morse code?
Well, yeah, but it's that stink-free Morse code.
Stink-free Morse. Okay, man, let's have another beer.
I think we should, but first we should thank shopmando.com and the promo code WHW. And now we should watch some wrestling. What if we watched the Invasion, just picked it up where we left off? Maybe about an hour, 22 minutes and 51 seconds. About an hour, 22 minutes and 51 seconds over on. Just get your out and search for Invasion. And then you go to 1 hour, 22 minutes, 51 seconds.
Yeah.
Why don't you let me know when you're ready, you sumbitch, and we'll watch this all wrestling together.
Well, hang on a second.
Just a couple Hall of Famers hanging out watching wrestling.
That's what we're doing. It's a Hall of Fame morning on What Happened When.
By the way, while you're fiddle fucking around trying to find Peacock, can I ask you some questions?
Boy, that's a loaded thing. Go ahead, ask me some.
I just want to ask you one question.
Okay.
Did you see that TNT is going to match Amazon's offer to keep the NBA? And how pumped are you?
That's really good.
Dude, I'm saying.
That's really good. That's really good for TNT.
Oh, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal. We get to keep that crew together. That's awesome, man.
That crew, ESPN is not even in the conversation when it comes to their NBA crew. Mm-mm. It's like, that's good. I'm pumped. Charles Barkley's a big wrestling fan, as we know.
Yep. So is Shaq.
So is Shaq. Ernie Johnson is one of the good guys in announcing. So yeah, I'm very pumped about that. Good stuff.
Without further ado, Tony, you locked and loaded on Peacock. You ready to roll? Let's watch some Invasion because we're kicking it off with a fun match. We watched part 1, and now it's time for us to finish the show. And we're starting with a pretty badass match. Rob Van Dam and Jeff Hardy. I don't think you've ever seen this.
No, I have not.
Do you want to watch it now?
I've had so much fun with Mando. I don't know if I want to go any further or not.
Well, listen, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Tony's going to go put deodorant on his nuts, and we'll report back next week.
My grundle and my grunk, or whatever it is.
Grunk, I think, is on Twitter.
Okay.
You're talking about your grundle, your gooch, and your tank.
Okay. It ain't nothing like being with us on a Wednesday morning.
You know what? I just realized this whole time, I thought people were abbreviating AGT for like America's Got Talent. It was asshole, gooch, and tank. This whole time.
Isn't that something?
I just realized that.
That's tremendous. That's something.
Yeah. Hey, you know, my asshole nearly fell out last weekend. Have we talked about this?
Well, we didn't, but yeah, because you were pretty ill.
I'd like to watch the matches whenever you can just give me the high sign that you're fucking ready. And then, then I'll tell you about my asshole falling out.
Here's the high sign.
Okay.
And here comes the countdown. You ready?
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Let's go.
We are at, again, this is the second half of the invasion we watched a couple weeks ago. 1 hour, 22 minutes, 51 seconds, right?
That's
122, 51?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're on pause there, you're going to see Hardcore Holly in the WWF. He's not in the arena. Is he in the restaurant there? Maybe. I don't know where he is. Doesn't fucking matter. In 3, 2, 1, here comes the countdown.
Well, hello to all you idiots that love Conrad and Tony. I am Bart Simpson. Since I have all my brain cells, I've never listened to What Happened When. But anyway, on with the countdown. 3, 2, 1, play.
Rob Van Dam got the big ring entrance and big graphics here.
Mm.
What do you think about this set, the invasion set, these random cylinders here on the set design?
They look like slinkies in a way, or
wow.
electric coils or something.
I didn't think of that. Slinkies.
Yeah. Slinkies. Rob looks great.
The win, doesn't he, though? That dude looks good all the time.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like Ricky Steamboat in that regard.
Exactly. Rob's and back in this era, Rob was a big fucking deal.
Oh man, how about this backstage little moment here?
Mm-hmm.
Rob Van Dam attacking Matt Hardy, trying to get Jeff Hardy psyched out. What a fun match this is going to be. This is the best match on the entire show. Mm-hmm. They got 4 stars in the Observer. They're going to go 12 minutes and 24 seconds.
Yeah, and there's Howard Finkel as the ring announcer. May he rest in peace.
Yep.
I'm sure he's the ring announcer in heaven. And look at the Gund Arena, man. So this is early Hardy Boys, right?
Yeah, they really caught fire in 99. So we're about 2 years into their top run.
Okay.
Now, at this point, Jeff's not won the world title or anything like that, but that is the hardcore championship around his waist. But it was sort of an afterthought. It was like the 24/7 title in more recent times.
Right. They still have a 24/7 title?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Thank God. Look at the shit they're doing.
Dude, 23 years ago, this was so far ahead of its time. It's crazy.
Yeah. Wow. The fans don't know what to make of it right now. Isn't that something?
Yeah, I mean, this is before, everybody's super familiar with Van Dam. I mean, obviously, hardcore ECW fans, they know, but he was not yet a WWF superstar by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm trying to compare it to modern times here, that if those guys would have done those flips and those spots and and then stood up and looked at each other, everybody would have stood up now and clapped.
Yes.
Here now, they don't know what to make of it. It's like, what did we just see?
Do you think wrestling in more modern times has become a little bit Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Yep.
Where, we're trying to do crowd participation and we want This Is Awesome chants and we want Fight Forever chants. And I'm not even saying necessarily the talent want it. The talent just want you to make some noise and be into it. If you're emotionally invested, they don't care. But I'm saying as a fan, do you think there's like an onus on the crowd where they feel like, oh, well, this is where we're supposed to do this. This is where we're supposed to do that.
Yes, they feel part of the show, which they are, and they've always been that way. But also, for many of them, and that because of the signs that you see and the reaction that you see, they want people watching TV to see them, to hear them. They want to stand out. Nothing wrong with that, but that's just the way it is. It's a different crowd today. It really is. And hell, it's a different product today than it used to be. That's why, and I think we need to mention this as we're watching Jeff Hardy and Rob Van Dam. And we haven't talked about this, but I think MJF and Will Ospreay tore it up.
Oh, no doubt. What a match that was.
Yeah, that was one of the better matches we've ever had.
I would totally agree. And you know what got me, Tony, is I thought watching it, I said, okay, they're going to go to the 30-minute time limit. Yeah. And when they cruised past, I'm like, oh, we're going to a damn time limit draw. And then with just a couple of seconds left, MJF had one of the better finishes. I mean, I really, really enjoyed that because I didn't see it coming. Well done. And great action, great storytelling.
Yeah, it was. Congratulations to both of those guys for performing.
Yes.
And it's good stuff. It was really, really well done. And it actually was one of the better matches I've seen. And they worked pretty hard on it, I'm sure. Well, they worked hard that night. in the ring. And at these guys.
Dude, how far ahead of their time are they? I mean,
Oh my God.
these days, this could be a match on any given Wednesday or Saturday, but once upon a time, man, this was something nobody had seen.
And right now, the fans will be chanting, "This is awesome," or
Fight
something like that.
forever.
Fight forever. See the guy in the orange trying to get on camera? That's a lot of people try to do that now. Nothing wrong with that. It's just how the fan response has changed to pro wrestling from back in this day, and obviously back in 1983. Gee whiz.
Do you have a favorite Jeff Hardy match or moment? I mean, I know you didn't watch a lot of his stuff back in the day, but since we've started doing podcasting and then you got to spend some time with him in AEW, does one thing that Jeff Hardy has done stand out above all the else, everything else to you?
Yeah, and I don't know if we watched it here or not, but the ladder match against Edge and Christian. To me, that match, and I think it was back in Cleveland where they did that match. To me, that match is one of the greatest matches of all time, not only for performance, but, and I watched it listening to the commentary for JR's commentary. JR's commentary was absolutely amazing. He put those guys over. He made it sound like this match was bigger than life. It is worth watching. It is from, what is it from? Trying to think of the name of the event it was from. But what I did was, when Jeff Hardy arrived to AEW, I had heard about their great ladder matches against Edge and Christian. So I did a Google search, and I looked on a couple of articles to see what was the best. Devin Dowling just told it, No Mercy in 1999.
Yeah.
What was the best ladder match between these two teams? And it was there, and I watched it, and it's worth watching again. I do want to watch it again, as a matter of fact. That is the big Jeff Hardy moment. And I know Jeff has struggled. I know he's kicked out from that. So
Roll Tide on that, man.
yeah.
Man, what a barn burner they got here. Go out of your way to watch this one. You know, it's fun for Tony and I to make fun of bad wrestling, but this is a star-making performance by both guys. And look at that power bomb to the floor. My goodness.
I don't care if there is a little mat on the floor, that hurts.
Oh my gosh. A sunset flip into a power bomb on the floor.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And here's something cool. All right. The skirt is pulled up.
Yes.
And it just so happens that Jess sees that all the gimmicks underneath instead of looking and fishing for it. Sometimes I think we do too much looking and fishing. And my God, that is a ladder. That is a 10-foot ladder. And before the show's over, it's going to be 15 feet.
It's probably more than 10.
Yeah, it's got to be 20 feet in the air, my God.
Is that the
He's
rule?
going up 25 feet. He is standing up on a 30-foot ladder.
Look at the flash bulbs, dude.
And
I
the fans are going
kind of
crazy
miss
now.
flash bulbs.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, look at this. Doesn't this have like an element of danger? Like,
oh God, yes. Jeff can go forward here.
there he goes.
He's going to go forward here.
How crazy is that, dude? I mean, he's safe. He's fine. But I'm just saying, like, when he was up there, you're like, oh God, what's going to happen?
You can break an ankle. You can blow out a knee.
Oh, easy.
Okay.
All that stuff. So easy.
Right. And I'm sure this is not the last we're going to see of that 45-foot ladder. And of course, fans today are infatuated with tables.
No doubt. Have been for over 25 years.
Yeah.
When do you think you remember tables becoming a big thing in your career?
In my career, it had to be AEW.
You don't
But
think it was a big deal in WCW?
In WCW? Well, I can't remember the fans chanting "We want table" in WCW.
Okay.
Maybe it was, but not like it is today. It's like fans are just, I mean, fans are waiting on the table. They're popping for it. And not only that, when they set up the table and they don't go to it right away, the fans get very uneasy about it. Look at that. Look at fucking that. He kicked him down in the hole, Conrad. He kicked him in a damn hole. Wow. Pretty freaking good.
Dude, the first time I saw this, it was like a dream match, you know, for years and years at this point. I guess maybe back to 97. So for the prior 4 years, my sort of dream fantasy wrestling match as a fan was Rob Van Dam and Shawn Michaels. And of course, by 2001, Shawn's not wrestling again yet. He's training people like Bryan Danielson, thank goodness. But he's not wrestling. And I didn't think we were going to get that. So when I saw this, I'm like, dude, Jeff Hardy, one half of a tag team, just like Shawn Michaels before him. This might be, you know, Rob Van Dam versus the next generation Shawn Michaels.
Right.
Such an awesome match that still holds up. It's still good today.
Of course it is. It's everything you're seeing today.
Yes.
So what that tells me, because this is a hardcore match, is that matches today are more like hardcore matches back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And what we are seeing today, and I've said this before, and I believe this, what we are seeing today in pro wrestling, especially in AEW, because I don't watch the WWE, what we're seeing today is more to the extension of ECW than anything else. ECW's, what they brought to wrestling has held up. Am I right? I mean, it's a combination, I know, but my God, this is all ECW stuff that they're doing there.
Yeah.
So congratulations on the performers in ECW that made it work, like Rob Van Dam, split leg moonsault.
Right into the knees.
All right. Taz, Tommy Dreamer, the Dudleys, Sandman, all those guys that I know I'm going to be missing some people. But all those guys that made it work. Mike Awesome.
The man, Masato Tanaka.
Right. Tajiri. Right. Those guys, what they brought to wrestling and how they changed wrestling is still alive today. You're not seeing a stop for the false finish. How about that? You're not seeing a Harley Race Ric Flair side headlock.
No, you're not
on the map.
No, you're not
seeing that anymore. You're not seeing that anymore. So, and you know what? I like it. I've as an announcer, I've tried to change with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta
evolve.
You gotta evolve with the product. Because it still has a place in sports culture today. A big place. Hardy, Swanton dive, missed, or Swanton bomb. There's George Napolitano on the outside.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? You can move over a little bit. I want to shoot right here. Thank you. Hey, how you doing? We could take a few shots here. Look at him. Jesus, the way that Rob Van Dam could move around. Fans know Rob Van Dam now, don't they?
Ain't no doubt.
Yeah, they didn't know him at the beginning. That's much they knew Jeff Hardy. But
That'll
they do
it.
now.
What a star-making performance. That's your match of the night. What'd you think, Tony?
I'm all for it. I loved it. And again, it'll hold up. And you know what? They didn't go overboard with the gimmicks, did they?
No, they kept it in check. I thought it worked. Yeah.
Right.
Meltzer would say easily the show stealer. And what a frog splash with the title belt on the chest. And now who better to be the hardcore champion here than Rob Van Dam?
Yeah. They're going to show the Swanton bomb that missed. And if they show the frog splash, look how far he goes.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Super athlete. Another angle here. This is our third time seeing the frog splash.
Yep.
Who's your favorite frog splasher?
Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, that's a good one. Can't argue that one. You ever see D'Lo Brown's?
D'Lo Brown's? No.
Yeah.
I have not seen D'Lo Brown's.
I think he'd like it.
Well, I like D'Lo. He's so fucking cool. So, that's another thing about this business. Another thing I really should have brought up when I'm talking about the Hall of Fame. I've met so many freaking cool people.
That's it.
Just performers, people who work backstage. This guy right here not being one of them.
You don't like Kurt Angle?
Love Kurt Angle.
I thought Kurt was great. I didn't know you and Kurt had heat.
Oh, no. And kind of speaking indirectly of Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
You know who I love?
Yeah.
Karen Jarrett.
Oh, she's the best, isn't she?
Yes. Karen and I have made a pact. Okay.
Really?
Yes, we have.
Let's hear about this.
And Jeff is not on board with this.
He's not on board with any of the good ideas.
No, he should be. If I win the lottery, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yep.
Then I'm going to build this farm for dogs.
Oh, I love that.
I'm going to build a house for me and Lois. I'm going to build a house for the Jarrett family. Okay. We're not going to necessarily live side by side, but we'll live on the property.
Yeah, it's a farm.
And it's a farm, and we're going to take care of the dogs. We're going to have a full-time veterinarian staff, and that's how we're going to spend our money. We have both agreed that if I win the lottery, I'm going to do it. She's agreed that if she wins the lottery, they'll do it. But Jeff says, you two out of your fucking mind. Her love for dogs is the same as mine. And hey, I'm looking at a graphic right now that has completely had me stop talking about dogs.
Yep. And instead, we're going to start talking about puppies. But before we do, we should remind you that today's sponsor is Amazing Kind. It's a family-run business that specializes in plant-based pain relief balms, creams, and gels for all your muscles, joints, and they've even got infused oils for mood support and sleep. Their products are of the highest quality, sourced from GMP certified manufacturers and tested for both quality and purity to make sure that you're buying exactly what it says on the label. Tony and I are big believers in this. Lois has had trouble sleeping and has had some pain issues as long as we've been broadcasting. Now she reaches for the Amazing Kind for her solution. The infused oils are made from all natural sun-grown hemp. They're infused with nutrient-dense MCT oil. And man, the founder of this Amazing Kind, he's one of us. He's a big wrestling fan. He actually worked for the WWE, working on their commercials and marketing. And man, they've got everything you need. I've had a lot of great success with CBD products from theamazingkind.com. They've got the balms, the creams, and the gels. My wife found it to be a game changer for her in her preparation to do that fitness competition. She needed some help after her workouts. She needed some help with some muscle recovery. Theamazingkind.com helped. She eventually hurt her shoulder and she was having trouble sleeping, and her quality of life was just terrible as a result. She started using just a few drops under her tongue from theamazingkind.com, and these infused oils, man, it's a game changer. It has a sedative effect, the CBN. It's often been known to bring about like a state of relaxation and calmness. That makes it more conducive for falling asleep. But not only that, you're going to get prolonged sleep, fewer nighttime awakenings, more restful, more rejuvenating sleep, that deep sleep you're looking for. They've got it at theamazingkind.com. And we can get you a great deal right now at theamazingkind.com. You get 20% off all of your orders when you use our promo code WRESTLE. Go right now to theamazingkind, that's KIND.com, and you'll get 20% off everything when you use our promo code WRESTLE. Who better for a special guest referee than the hardcore legend himself, Mr. Mick Foley?
This is so unexpected and cool.
We're about to see Trish team up with Lita to take on Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler. And this is 2001. So they're not going to go out here and have a Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker type match. We're going to have double bra and panties. All four women in their bras trying to tear each other's clothes off. Live on pay-per-view. Let me ask you. I'm not trying to be that fuddy-duddy.
Yeah.
Because I grew up a wrestling fan as a little boy.
Yeah.
But if I were a dad who had a little girl in this era who was a wrestling fan,
yes,
I don't know that I'd want to take her to this.
No, this is not. She's not the target audience here.
But I'm just saying, like, the takeaway would be as a girl. Oh well, if you're a boy, then you can have these fun action matches, and if you're a girl,
I'm sorry. Stacy Keibler came out, and
I lost my train of thought too. Because I'm overcome with hatred for David.
Me too.
Yes. As a matter of fact, as I look in the ring, I'm not sure that I like A-Rod very much either. And George Clooney, he's a son of a bitch. ER sucked. Yeah. Ocean's 12 your ass right out of here. I'm not interested.
Yeah. I don't give a shit if you were the worst Batman ever.
Think he was the worst Batman ever?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Let me just see if the internet agrees with that.
That was the worst Batman movie. I enjoyed the movie, but that was the worst Batman movie. To me, they may say that Batman versus Superman was the worst. But I thought over the top, super silly. Joel Schumacher took what was a pretty good franchise, and hey, here comes Lita, and I got to meet Lita during a Starcast.
She's great, isn't she?
And she's just a wonderful person. She really is.
I don't know how you could not be a fan of her.
Yeah.
Just as a human being. She travels with her dog, you know.
Her what?
Her dog.
Oh, I thought you said grog, and I'm thinking, oh, you're making up another word here.
Will you stop?
You did say, I thought she travels with a grog, you know. Well, they all do, Conrad.
Oh, stupid ass Dave Silva says that Val Kilmer was the worst Batman.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that.
What the fuck does Dave know?
Devin Dowling's with us here, and he says, would Tony have come back to the WWF just to switch spots with Mick Foley here?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Mick's doing a good job here in that he is trying to stay out of the camera side as much as possible. See how he's over there in the corner? Don't get mixed up in that. Let the girls, fans want to see the girls. Okay.
So a few more questions from our live studio audience. Bryant wants to know, it was awesome to meet you in Waterloo. What are the chances we get you back in Waterloo for next year, Tony?
Well, sure had a good time. Brian, Brian, are you from Waterloo? I didn't, or are we just, or you just came to the Hall of Fame? I don't know. Here's why I'm asking that. Because I really liked Iowa. I mean, I told Lois, I said, this is a place we could live.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and of course, I came from Atlanta where it was like 98 degrees, right? That's
the most on-brand thing ever. Yeah. Be born in Craigsville, West Virginia, and dream of moving to fucking Iowa.
Okay. Just to clear things up, it is Virginia.
Right. That's what I said.
I know you're from Mississippi, and you don't know the difference between Virginia and West Virginia. And
but you enjoy vacationing in Iowa.
I wouldn't mind Brian just told us he goes to the Hall of Fame every year.
I know that. He's their big flag bearer.
Okay. I would like, I wouldn't mind living there. I'm telling you, I wouldn't mind if I could have an airport where I could get out of. One of the great things about living in Atlanta is, with the exception of CrowdStrike,
There's so much air travel in Atlanta.
Oh, you can get everywhere.
Yes.
Direct flight everywhere. I very rarely have to change over. Yeah.
All right. So we got Stacy Keebler's top off. Now we got Lita's top off. What are we doing?
What do you think we're doing? We're gawking.
I think my favorite thing about this whole conversation is you're like, going to the Hall of Fame's not a big deal. Now fucking Iowa. Have you seen the corn? They had a baseball field near the corn, Conrad. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
Anyway, the Hall of Fame, no big deal. But the corn and the baseball.
Yes. And the Field of Dreams.
Did you see the minor league football team there in Waterloo?
They have a minor league football team?
Yeah.
No.
You don't know about this?
No, I don't. What? Minor league football team. Okay, so
if you just type in Iowa Woo, WOO.
For some reason, I think you're bullshitting me.
I'm not. Type in your Google machine.
Oh, there it is. Arena League schedule. Oh, it's arena football team.
The original version before they put him in a Hawaiian shirt and a cowboy hat.
Uh-huh.
So he was wearing sunglasses with long blonde hair and a pink robe with white sequins. And they called it the Iowa Woo.
Wow.
Mike Dawkins sent him a cease and desist. Devin Dowling says, who's going to win the Olympics this year?
Oh, Devin, I don't give a flying fuck shit about the Olympics.
I don't give a flying fuck shit.
I don't. I think it is the most, it's the biggest money grab. The Olympics that I remember, the Dan Gable Olympics, that was great athletic competition. This is just a big TV show with the International Olympic Committee that just is probably about as dirty as you can find.
Dave McClay wants to know, because you're not a fan of the WWE Hall of Fame, do you believe this is the best wrestling Hall of Fame? Of course, he's talking about the TNT Hall of Fame in Waterloo. Do you think that's the best Hall of Fame?
I'm not familiar with any other Hall of Fames. So I am familiar with any other Hall of Fames, but I've never been to any other Hall of Fame. So it's hard for me to compare.
Bryant wants to know, when you're driving 11 hours in the car home, what are you listening to the entire time?
I'm listening to, there's a lot of it. I'm just with my thoughts and driving with nothing. But I've got on Apple Music, I've got my favorites list, which is about 100 songs long. And I just put it on, and listen to that, on shuffle. Don't listen to podcasts. I did make a mistake because I wanted to find out on Sunday as I'm driving. I wanted to find out how's things going with CrowdStrike and Delta. So I go to Sirius, because I got the Sirius app. I got it on my Apple phone, my iPhone. I go to the Sirius app and I go to news, and I'm searching news, and I see Fox News headlines. I said, okay, they're not going to talk politics on there. Boom, I put it on there, and they're talking politics. And I went, fuck. So I didn't find out anything there. But sometimes I do listen to comedy. I listen to Bill Burr, but I'll listen to it. I'll stream like one of his YouTube shows, something like that. Listen to that. But I won't. I don't listen to podcasts at all. I even tried it, and I love Kevin Smith. And of course, he's been on the forefront of podcasts for a long time. I love Kevin Smith, but I don't really care for his podcast. So there. Isn't it something? I'm a podcaster, and I ain't a fan of podcasts. Used to listen to John Boy and Billy's podcast a lot, but I stopped doing that. Stopped doing that many months ago. Paul Stone Cold said so. I can read do lip reading on that.
Devin Dowling wants to know, would Tony ever take a table bump like Paul Heyman did?
No.
Would you take a one-winged angel?
No, I wouldn't take anything. I'm old. Do you understand? I'm fucking old. I'm going to be 67 in November. I'm old. Okay. Ever tell you I was old?
You've mentioned it before.
Yeah, I'm old.
I think it's come up.
So this is the inaugural brawl. Is Vince involved in this anyway at all? Is he?
Yeah, he's representing the WWF.
Uh-huh.
His kids and Paul Heyman are representing the alliance. So it's the WWF versus ECW and WCW.
Okay. So Paul Heyman's coming out for this.
Paul Heyman is the voice of ECW. If they would have had Eric Bischoff as the voice of WCW, this would have been awesome. But instead, it's Shane and Stephanie.
All right. Here we go.
Stephanie owns ECW and Shane owns WCW.
Oh, what an angle. Huh?
And Linda owns TNA.
How about that?
And his secretary owns Global. Here's one from Coach Rosie. You had a video crew that interviewed James Elkerai and I. Do you know when that will drop?
I have no idea. Didn't even know the video crew would be there until Thursday of last week. So I have no idea what they're going to do with it.
Dave McClay says, Tony, who was the best at playing Alfred?
Michael Caine?
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah, he was great. He's just a great actor. He was the best at it.
Dave from San Antonio wants to know, Tony, would you take a gooch slap from Dr. Britt Baker?
No. Thank you for the question, though.
Would you take a Bronco Buster from Britt Baker?
No, I'm taking no bumps from anyone.
I mean, I've seen you get pushed down and knocked around.
You have?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. Wardlow ran over me one time.
MJF pushed you down or something?
MJF pushed me down, yeah.
What about a Meltzer driver from the Young Bucks?
No. I don't know if you know this, but I'm old.
Didn't stop Adam Copeland from jumping off a goddamn cage. What's your excuse?
Well, he's been used to it.
I don't know.
He's done things like that before. Okay. He's done things like that before. Is that Paul Heyman with a hat on?
Yeah, he's wearing a hat. Yeah.
I didn't recognize him because he looked so skinny there.
Well, it's 23 years ago.
And 2,300 pounds ago.
What's wrong with you? Why are you so mean to Paul?
There's nothing wrong. What are you talking about?
How about Freddie Blassie trying to motivate the troops here?
I think I'm, give everybody a time code of where you are.
34, 30, 31, 32, 33. Oh, wait, we're not watching the same thing. You're watching on Peacock. I downloaded it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I watch on Peacock because when I download it, everybody else, I'm at 157.27. Just saw Freddie Blassie, and now we're seeing him brawl in the ring. But now we're seeing Steve Austin walk to the ring, and he's clearing out the ring. Was there anybody more over than Steve Austin?
Nope, never in the history of ever.
No. Man.
Hey, I know we don't talk about politics here. Thank God.
Yeah.
But would you have ever had it on your bingo card that Hulk Hogan would speak at a convention?
We were getting ready to go to dinner at the hotel in Waterloo. And I looked on the the TVs in the bar, and I saw Hogan posing. And I'm
Yes.
thinking, what the hell is going on? And I saw the bar, Fox News, and it said Republican Convention. And I went, wow.
It was a show. I mean, Kid Rock, Dana White, Linda McMahon, Hulk Hogan. I'm like, is this just the WWE Hall of Fame here tonight? I mean, I couldn't believe that they had Hulk Hogan on a political thing.
Well, obviously Trump was very involved with the WWE at one time.
No, yeah, I'm not arguing. I'm not complaining. And we're not going to make it a rule to talk about politics here on the show, but this was one of the most mainstream things you could possibly do. And Hulk Hogan's on it. It's like,
I know.
Wow. Remarkable.
So, I don't know if that's going to help or hurt Donald Trump, and I don't care.
I don't care either. We're trying to have fun here and talk about silly wrestling, and we're ready for the main event here of Invasion. And what a main event it is. We've got the Alliance, which is Team ECW and WCW, led by the Dudleys, Rhino, Diamond Dallas Page, and Booker T. But of course, coming to the ring right now are Paul Heyman and Stephanie McMahon. Their team is going to be taking on Team WWF. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, The Undertaker, and Kane. The actual main event, bell to bell, is 29 minutes and 3 seconds. And Meltzer would say, everyone worked hard, and this was good, but not the caliber of most WWF main events. Austin and Angle in particular got huge reactions when they came out. Talk to me a little bit about, you know a lot more about wrestling than I do. Is it just impossible to make a 10-man match a great match? Like, even if everyone's working hard and seemingly on the same page, are there just too many players there for it to really be as impactful as a match could be? Does 10 take away?
Yeah, it's not as good as it's. I've never liked battle royals at all. I think kudos for the WWE to come up with the Royal Rumble. That's the best one, the way they do it. We've got the casino battle royals that we have where we bring people in, and we got the gauntlet matches now where we bring them in at different times. Who knows who's going to come in? And I think one of the great things about the casino gauntlet that we do is that not everybody gets in, right? Got 29 people in the back and may go to 10 and they not get in. And that's just to me, the mystery of it all is pretty cool. But I've never really liked them. We talked about forearm, right?
Yes.
But I'm interested to see how this one's going to work out.
What a match. This was a high watermark for them on pay-per-view. Outside of a WrestleMania, I mean, this was the biggest buy rate of all time for them, I think. Josh Henney says, what's the key to calling a 10-man match, Tony?
The key is to just pick out a couple of guys that have paired off and try to focus on that to make it sound exciting. Try not to get confused. The fans are watching so many things. You've got to focus on one thing at a time. And I think that's very important. And I have never done a battle royal type match where I knew who was going to go out win. So it's surprising to me when somebody goes out, and that's the way I like it. So, because I don't want to get caught into going, it's his turn to go out. Oh boy, you fucked that up. I just want to be a fan. So, yeah, just watch where they pair off, or watch where a couple of guys double team somebody, or maybe you can catch two guys who like each other starting to fight. That's another interesting part. You got to pick out the interesting things. It's kind of like, it's going to be a terrible comparison, but I really believe it's kind of like watching a NASCAR race, a long NASCAR race. If you watch a long NASCAR race, what you have to do, you have to pick out two guys fighting for fourth position. Not necessarily just watch the leader. Watch two guys fighting for fourth position, and all of a sudden that becomes a race within the race. Or they're scraping or something like that. You've got to pick out something that's exciting within it. And a lot of times there's not something exciting. In a NASCAR race, sometimes you go round and round and round in a circle and you don't see the competition. But we've seen many, many boring battle royals throughout the years, right? I think what's going to make this one good, at least I'm hope so, because you said that Dave said all of them work hard. You've got some big stars in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Big stars. I don't know if the invasion angle was a good one or not.
It wasn't.
What is history? It wasn't. History says it was not. Okay.
Correct. It's unanimously agreed upon.
Okay.
And respectfully, it's just because of timing. Like, it feels inauthentic to have Shane and Stephanie involved. It feels inauthentic for this to be a representation of WCW, but there's no Flair, there's no Hogan, there's no NWO, there's no Sting, there's no Goldberg, on and on and on. Like, I love DDP and Booker T. Like, as human beings and performers, I think they're both fucking awesome. However, we need more from that side, I think.
Sure.
And by the way, that's not knocking on the Dudleys or Rhino. I'm just saying a real invasion would have been WCW versus the WWF. And then once we're up and going here, then we introduce ECW. And now there's like 3 teams, not an alliance of 2 less than teams against the WWF stack deck.
How about Chris Jericho and the Learning Tree, huh?
Man.
He does it again. He reinvents himself.
He's the Cher of wrestling.
That's right. That's a great way to put it.
He's the Madonna of wrestling.
Yes, he is.
I mean, I don't remember Madonna loving mimosas, but Jericho does.
Yeah. Just, you can't get that out of your mind.
It's the greatest fucking gimmick match of all. It is the most Memphis shit of all time.
It is.
And I love it.
Yeah. And this, hi guys.
Oh man.
And when he was doing commentary with us that last time, Tony, of course, you know what a headlock is where he grabs the side headlock, and I'm fucking dying. He's trying to teach us the moves. Oh God. Just really good.
Josh Henney says the Learning Tree is absolutely hilarious because it's someone who you know.
Yeah, in real life, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Dave McClay says, Tony, what would have been your dream invasion tag team main event for this pay-per-view? So let's start. Hang on. I know. Just give me the 5 biggest stars in WCW history, in your opinion.
At this time?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not saying 1983 Harley Race.
Okay. It would have been a Hall, Nash, Flair, Hogan, and the Macho Man.
Hall, Nash, Flair, Hogan, and Macho.
Macho, yeah.
So you wouldn't have DDP. You wouldn't have Booker T. You wouldn't have Scott Steiner. You wouldn't have the Giant. You wouldn't have Lex Luger. You wouldn't have Sting. You don't have Sting.
You wouldn't have Goldberg.
You don't have Sting or Goldberg on your team.
I should have answered that because I knew what you would do.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you're a shithead.
All right. So let's say Sting. He's got to be there.
And I'm glad your asshole was sore, by the way.
Thank you. Sting, Goldberg, Hogan.
Well, give me yours. I'm
doing it now.
Fat man.
Sting, Goldberg, Hogan, Flair. I got one last spot.
Why not Disco Inferno? Put that piece of shit in there.
Wow, that's hurtful.
So we have 4 guys and a turd.
I mean, Savage would be cool.
Okay.
But he would be older. So maybe we do need somebody young.
Well, you know what? Put it this way. If you would go to legitimately guys with WCW, you would have to have more than 5. You would have to be like 7 on 7 or 8 on 8 on 8 and put 24 men in the ring.
All right. So I did Sting, Goldberg, Hogan, Flair, Nash. And on the WWF side, if we had our druthers, we'd say Austin, Rock, Hunter, Angle, Undertaker.
Okay. You wouldn't put Shawn Michaels in there?
Well, he wasn't wrestling here.
Okay.
He was training Brian Danielson how to be your boss.
And God bless it, because knowing Brian Danielson is one of the real treats of my wrestling career. No, I'm serious.
No, I had to clear my throat.
No, you didn't. I know what you're doing. Okay. And maybe he's not my boss. Maybe I'm his boss. You ever thought about that?
I love that it takes about an hour, but after an hour, I have finally pressed enough buttons to where Tony gets a little hot. Not like half hot, but like a quarter hot. Like,
yeah, motherfucker, don't say that again. How about that? And I hope you have to shit all day today.
I'm 3/16 hot, god damn it. Here's a fun question. Bryant wants to know, when you have a 10-man tag like this, do you think the match is better as an elimination match or a regular tag match like this?
Elimination match.
You like those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they work.
There's some chat in the live chat here about Rebel, friend of the show, getting a haircut. Have you seen this? What do you think of this?
I don't know if Dave's got a picture of it or not. I have not. And this is from Coach Rosie. Rebel cut her hair and it looks great. Listen, I'm sorry, and maybe I should be more conscious of what plays out online, but I just don't look at it.
Oh, she did cut that hair, Daddy. Chopped it.
Chopped it. I do not keep up with what's going on.
Well, if you were to do a different haircut, what would you aim for? Is there a haircut in wrestling or pop culture that you're like, that's a good haircut?
No.
I've been thinking about doing a mullet lately. I'm not kidding. I live in Marshall County now.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I got something stuck in my throat.
I'm the only man I know in Marshall County who lives in Marshall County who doesn't drive a pickup truck. I'm just saying, if I got the mullet, it would fit in Alabama. And I'm down here in Perdido Key, and everybody down here sells mullet. The local paper is called the Mullet Wrapper. Like, I think I could. Well, what if I just didn't cut back here? Just let it keep going.
Please do. I want to see, you know what I want to see you at? Of course, I'll be dead.
Joe Dirt, skin on the sides.
No, I want to see you with a full white beard.
Oh, that'll be here by next year.
Okay. Full white beard, full white hair, and a ponytail.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And just wearing T-shirts with tats all over your body, or these
tats.
Yeah, with just like a, what they call it, the T-shirt without the
a wife beater.
A wife beater, yeah. With tats all over you, just with crumbs on your belly.
I probably got that. Hand, I may have that actually.
A beer in one hand and a blue tick hound in the back of your pickup truck. That's what I want to see. That's the Conrad Thompson I want to see.
I quit drinking beer.
Did you really?
Yeah, I haven't. I couldn't tell you last time I had a beer. Years.
Well, good for you. Lois has been 8 hours or 10 hours.
But, this is not a bad match that we're watching here. It's just not, I think, the group of participants that fans are looking for.
Right.
Hey, let's take a look at this Rebel haircut. Hopefully you're watching with us here. What do you think? Looks like a different person, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Roll Tide.
Not only is she beautiful, she's a beautiful person.
Great person, full of life. In an alternate universe, she's the top salesman in every organization. Personality for days, never meets a stranger. Yep. And a big hit over at adfreeshows.com. We do Rebels Happy Hour a couple Sundays a month. Recommend you get on there and hang out with Rebel.
I also like to, I'm glad you brought that up because I've not done a live thing in a long time. And I was doing live on our Patreon channel. What happened when? I was doing live, and then it got to the point to where no one would show up, right? So I said, it's not worth my time. But I think I probably should try to do that again.
Let's do it.
I mean, the last time we did, we had like 7 people, and we've got hundreds of people that are on our Patreon channel. I'd like to have a lot more. So maybe, I don't know how would we get a lot more? What would be the way to do it?
You just tell me in advance and we'll promote it and let people know.
Okay.
But sometimes those little pockets in your time, in your schedule, it'll be like, hey, I'm free this afternoon. We got to have a heads up to give people a chance to plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if we can do that, they'll show up. People love talking to a big Hall of Famer, big star like you.
Oh, would you please stop it? You're a big Hall of Famer and a big star. Are you a Hall of Famer or not?
Yeah, technically.
Yeah. You're in the sore asshole shitting Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that true? Right now, you're involved in it big time.
Wow.
Look at, I'm right at 214.04. Look at fucking Kurt Angle go, man.
He's amazing.
God almighty.
Was that a notification that your pie's done, or what was that?
What?
The big ding you just did.
I did a big ding?
You did a real big ding. You're a big dinger.
You heard a ding?
Yeah. You're a real big dinger from way back.
Okay. Well, I don't know how you heard a big ding. It's not from me.
Well,
I didn't hear it on my end.
Nobody would even accuse you of having a big ding. That's my bad.
I would have heard the big ding on my end. There was no, it's got to be Silva.
Let me see. Silva's muted.
You got a big,
Silva's
did you have
muted.
a big ding?
He's muted.
Okay.
I've never had a big ding.
Okay,
No.
well, look, then Conrad, it's got to be your big ding, because it ain't mine. Anybody else listening, watching us live? Anybody else here? Okay, Bad Money Slim said it was a ding, not a dong. Whew. Thanks for clearing that up, buddy.
Silva heard the ding. Silva, did you hear the ding?
I heard the ding.
See,
Well,
it's
God,
on you,
son of a
motherfucker.
bitch, it's not for me. I don't know.
Yes, it is.
Check your phone, man. Check your phone.
You're the dinger. You're the known dinger.
You're
I
the
do
dinger.
not have I do not have my phone routed to my podcasting board.
It wasn't your phone. It was a computer sound. You clicked something. We heard your ding.
But I have the computer muted.
I don't know.
All right, anyway, if you hear it again, let me know. Coach Rosie heard it, but Coach Rosie would probably be on your side and lie about it. I heard that.
You heard what?
You see,
That's you, dude.
That's on your end, you nothing happening,
Okay.
son of a bitch.
We're watching a match now, so why don't we watch it?
I'm trying, and you're over there playing with your dinger. Turn your dinger off. If
My
you'd have
dinger's
done,
off. My dinger's been off since 1987.
I mean,
Okay.
I saw that
I'm
big
watching-
family photo earlier. I thought to myself, did Tony ever pull out? Look at all these motherfuckers.
We have a big family.
Yeah, let it soak Jones over there. I see why. Why don't you just try rebooting your gooch? Maybe that'll get rid of the ding.
I was getting ready to give you the numbers. We've got 5 kids. We got 8 grandkids. And in the family, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dogs. So if we get everybody together for Christmas, it's a mess. I'm going to bring everybody over to the Conradison, you know?
Fuck off. Oh, yeah, that'd be great. I would love that.
Bring them over to or bring them over to your new home and have them watch the geese chase your fat ass around the house.
Well,
That would be worth the price of admission.
you know, the golf cart is coming back from the shop soon.
Oh, really?
And when it comes back,
You're going to chase?
I'm going to ride around with a little bullhorn and a BB gun. And I'm going to kill myself. I'm not going to kill myself. I'm going to kill my time riding around patrolling.
Yeah, and just chasing geese.
Just chasing geese. Just fill a big old Yeti up full of vodka and water and squirt.
Yeah.
And just get a BB gun in one hand, play some 2 chains, and just ride around on patrol. Pew, pew, firing off.
What you don't realize is later that night, they're going to congregate and have a fucking meeting. Okay. And when you get ready to walk out the door in the morning, they're all going to be there.
Well,
And they're going to flip and flap you with their wings by the time you stumble out of the house.
well, I keep that thing on me. They might
Okay,
walk
you better
over. They're
keep it-
going to
you
limp
better-
back.
You better keep that thing on you. You have no idea what you're fucking with. You have no idea. You Alabama boys think, hell, we'll take care of that. Yeah, shit. Okay.
I'm not too worried about
the
it.
next person that comes up with a ding, it's you or Silva. I'm gonna fuck you up. How's that?
What?
Yeah. There you go. I'm watching a pretty good match. I'm watching.
What are you
Conrad,
doing?
That's Conrad going to the bathroom this weekend.
Hey, dude, have you ever even known someone who got E. coli before?
No, I have not.
I mean, I felt like that was something that happened decades ago.
Yeah. Lois may have had it. I don't know. She's better now. But she was terribly sick. I mean, to the point to where I was talking to Chris on the phone because I was in Dallas and I said, do we need to take her to the hospital? And he said, we might. So it all actually panned out, worked out fine. Meanwhile, we have Diamond Dallas Page in the ring with The Undertaker. Was this during the DDP Undertaker angle?
Yep. He's stalking his wife.
Okay. Meanwhile, at the lake house.
I'm not scared of those motherfuckers, Tony.
Yeah.
You wait till I start riding around in my golf cart.
Okay. Coach Rosie just said that he got sick as well coming back from Waterloo, which means there could have been something in the food. Right? At the buffet. Who knows? I mean,
will you fucking stop counter promoting this goddamn Hall of Fame for an hour? Just for a fucking hour. Jesus. Well, Conrad, as you know, I don't give a shit about it. You know, now breaking news, folks. Coach Rosie suggests, known fucking scholar, Coach Rosie has said, he's deduced, he's been talking to Fauci, and they've decided that Lois and Coach Rosie, it was food poisoning from Gerald Briscoe's fucking buffet.
Oh, God. There you go. I got an idea. Oh, there's another one. Okay. Oh, God.
So, yeah, I had an upset stomach, I thought, and it wouldn't go away. And it got worse and worse to the point where I couldn't sleep. And so eventually, Megan's doctor says, hey, the only way to know for sure
is to stick something up your ass and get a sample?
Is to provide a stool sample.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to shit in a bag, Tony Schiavone. That's when I was like, my life's not going according to plan.
Was it a paper bag?
It was a clear plastic bag.
Okay, so you had to...
And I had to look at the shit.
You had to look at the shit.
And Megan goes, how's it going in there?
Say, well, I've filled up 3 bags. Which one does he want?
And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, how are we looking? And I said, if I was a betting man, Iowa ain't looking too good. And she's like, what do you mean? And I said, I'm shitting in a fucking bag. And so sure enough, we sent it off. And they said the next day, hey, you got E. coli. And I was like, I thought you only got that from eating like uncooked beef or, like whatever. And they were like, no, actually, you could get it from like just lettuce at a restaurant or something.
Right.
And I didn't know that.
Or you can get it from a goose shoving his beak up your ass.
Oh, goddamn.
Chasing you around the lake house.
So anyway, I thought my asshole was going to fall out. It didn't. It's still there. I'm glad to report.
That is great news.
Yes.
And that's what this whole podcast has been about. It's been about my Hall of Fame and your asshole.
Yeah. Which was really, when you think about it, the whole genesis of the whole show.
Yes.
Like I thought to myself back in 2017, I need another podcast where I can talk about my asshole and try to get Tony Schiavone back in the Hall of Fame.
How about that?
Nailed it.
There you go. As long as we're playing sound effects.
On hood.
You a big Crip Mac guy? You been keeping up with Crip lately?
I've not been keeping up with Crip lately, but I can tell you right now that I am watching Devon just beat the shit out of Chris Jericho.
That is Bully Ray.
Bully Ray. as I'm watching, Bully Ray just got in.
Oh,
So,
I got you.
okay.
I was just gonna remind you that Bully Ray is the white guy.
I know that. For everybody else, we're at 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 24 seconds and counting. So that's where we are. If you're watching on Peacock, which most people are.
Hey, Tony, I do want to put something on your radar. You know, you've mentioned to me privately that you might entertain the idea of easing over and visiting me and my lovely wife and bringing your lovely wife.
Yes.
And I know that we got a lot of stuff going on and there's moving parts and we're marching pretty quickly towards the end of July. You think there might be a time we could maybe ease over into August? You think maybe August could work?
Yeah, I was thinking that the first weekend in August. Okay. I don't know if that's too soon, but I have that weekend off.
Well, here's what I was thinking. There's an event coming to Huntsville that I'd love to invite you and your lovely wife to. And, you know, that's only about a 35-minute drive from me. So not too bad to get to town. And man,
Wait to hear this one.
Well, I'm just thinking, because you and I think we both agree we grew up on like barbecue and beans. Like if you're growing up in Alabama, you're growing up in the South, you're gonna eat hot dogs, you're gonna eat baked beans, you're gonna eat beanie weenies. And we've got on Thursday, August 22nd, sexy ladies from 4 clubs getting together at Uncle Buck's Booby Bungalow to see the Beanie Weenie Wrestling. You're going to see 8 sexy ladies from 4 different clubs compete for bragging rights and the title belt. Only $20, but Tony, if you'll do the ring introductions, I can probably get them to waive the cover fee. And Lois could present the Beanie Weenie Wrestling Championship that night. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I'll pass on that. And I should have noticed it was bullshit. So, meanwhile,
wait. That was very legitimate.
No, wait a minute. We're watching a freaking match here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We're watching a match.
Yeah.
We're watching Kurt Angle in the ring, and he is magnificent.
He's wrestling Rhino, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Right now, as most of us are watching, Rhino just got in, but I saw Kurt Angle do some incredible things with Bubba Ray and Devon. But look at Rhino, man. I haven't talked to Rhino in a long time. There's so many great people that are in wrestling that I need to reconnect with just to see how they're doing. That's all. I do it on a regular basis in AEW because it's my job, but guys that I used to work with, right? Jimmy Hart. How's Jimmy Hart doing? You talk with Kevin Sullivan now and then, right?
Yeah, I do.
I know he's had some health issues, hasn't he?
Yes.
J.J. Dillon. Wonder how he's doing. Just checking in with him. And right now we're watching.
Why didn't he ask his daughter? His daughter was in Waterloo. Pam?
She was, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you just walk right past her. Hey, your old man. I said, fuck himself. I mean, that's the Tony Schiavone way of saying hello.
Hey, good to see you.
Hey, darling, how are you? Good to see you. Tell your old man I said fuck himself.
Yeah, so I don't know about this match. I'm trying to figure out whether it's good or not. It's good when Kurt Angle's in there.
I love him wrestling Booker T.
Yeah, I just
help me understand why you're so down on the Beanie Weenie Wrestling.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
You don't like wrestling?
I don't like Beanie Weenie wrestling. I don't like seeing. I don't like seeing strippers roll around in baked beans.
Strippers?
Yes.
Who said anything about strippers?
Oh, for crying out loud! Where do you think we get these women from?
Wait a minute. What they've done in their past isn't going to keep them from competing for the gold.
Okay. Wow.
What?
I just don't. I don't.
Beanie Weenie world title.
I don't, It's probably better than the Olympics, but who knows?
Well, I'm going to talk to Gerald Briscoe. I'm going to see if we can't get that Beanie Weenie Championship donated to the TNT Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't it be cool if we had a Beanie Weenie exhibition next year?
Oh, it'd be terrible.
Instead of the buffet that's going to get you and Lois and Coach Rosie sick as fuck and projectile shitting.
Uh-huh.
What if we just serve Beanie Weenies next year in the pre-show? These are just brainstorming sessions, man. These are just ideas. I'm just freestyling here.
Yeah. Go ahead and freestyle.
So
we're watching a match. We're watching a match to hell with the Beanie Weenies, okay? We're watching a match.
I got some news I want to share with you, Tony. Do you remember back 5 years ago when I ordered a Cybertruck from Tesla?
Yeah, you got it.
They sent me a text message last week saying that it was ready for pickup.
I've seen 3 of them. I don't know if anyone has seen 3 of them or any of them where you live. Of course, we had one on TV with the Bucks not too long ago. A guy was carrying a couch in the back of one yesterday. And I looked at that thing thinking, that's the ugliest motherfucker I've ever seen. That makes the Kia Soul look like a Lamborghini. Anybody else think that thing looks good?
Well, I got one in the garage. So
when I come over, I want to drive it.
Thanks for shitting on me. No, it won't be here when you get here.
It won't?
No. I declined delivery. I've decided that this thing's got too many problems and it's an issue. So I declined delivery, and I was kind of down in the dumps about it because not only am I going to lose my deposit, which is fine. It's only $100 and then $1,000. So I guess I'm at $1,100. But I've just been reading on Reddit where so many people have so many problems. They just don't have the bugs worked out. Started depreciating like a rock. What I ordered and what they're delivering aren't really the same. It was a tri-motor for $69,000 that would go 500 miles on a charge. It doesn't go 500 miles. It's not 69,000. It's not as fast as they said, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just sort of down in the dumps about it because I was really hyped up about it, but I just made the decision. This is not a good financial decision to take all this depreciation on. I'm going to pass. Right. So I passed. And then I went to Turo and I said, I can get this out of my system. I'm just going to rent one.
Mm-hmm.
So I rented a Cybertruck a couple of days ago and I've got it this week.
Oh.
And it's been fun and interesting, but it's different than. But now I've got a mess. Have you used Turo before?
I don't know what Turo is.
So it's like Airbnb for cars.
Oh, okay.
So like if you were moving and you needed a big pickup truck, you can rent a guy's pickup truck. You don't have to go down to like a rental car place. It could be just a guy in your neighborhood.
Right. I've heard of this. Yeah.
So I've used it to rent like fun stuff. So like for Megan's birthday in January, I rented her a G-Wagon and we were in Miami. She loves that car. That was fun, blah, blah, blah. A few years ago, I rented a Ferrari for our anniversary and we dropped the top and drove around the Pacific Coast Highway. It's fun. I'm not going to make an investment in these things to own them and eat the depreciation. But as a fun day, yeah, let's do it. So that was the plan. But as you can tell from my background, I'm down here at the beach.
Hang on a second. Yeah.
It's a rental. So I was going to try to have some fun, Tony.
Yeah.
It didn't go well.
Lost the charge? Oh, no. Bullshit.
That
thing caught on fire. Are you serious?
There's multiple photos here. It was, we're going to see what that insurance policy gimmick looks like with Turo, I guess. I don't know.
This has to be a rib.
This is what I've been up to.
This has to be a rib. Did you blow some gas out of your ass?
Gas? There's no gas, motherfucker. It's an electric vehicle. What are you talking about gas?
Out of your ass.
Oh, no. I don't think Dookie Doo can do that.
Okay. For those of you not watching on YouTube, we are taking a look at one of the Cybertrucks on the beach with some water underneath of it. completely engulfed in flames
Yes.
inside and
Yes.
the tires. And this is not a rib.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid the depreciation.
It's a rib. Okay.
Yeah, buddy, this is. Did you think I actually fucking drove a goddamn rental car into the water and set it on fire?
Well, I would think that if you're on the beach with it and it's going on fire, the first thing I would try to do is get near water.
Well,
Wouldn't you?
I'm positive that that's what my Cybertruck would look like if I took delivery of it and let Dave Silva drive it.
Meanwhile, the Dudleys are setting up a table. It's broken down. We have seen Charles take a bump the referee. The Dudleys have set up a table. And you know what, Conrad?
What's that, Tony?
The fans are really not into this, are they?
Fans, everybody's on their feet. They're waiting for something to happen, but it's just not the best structure, I don't think.
Yeah. And there it has happened. As I'm watching it, we have seen Devon go down with a choke slam on the announce table. And of course, right, this is ECW's kind of stuff.
Yep.
Because Rhino is out there now with counting on The Undertaker. JR is standing up, out of the way. Who's working with JR on this? Is Jerry Lawler. Now here goes the Spanish announce table. Wow. I believe that was Carlos who maybe took a bump.
I kind of forget you haven't seen all these. Did you hear that again?
Yeah, no, I did not.
Boom. Why are you making all these sounds?
Okay. Maybe I had too much to eat.
Everybody's laying. Look at the carnage. Got the EMTs checking on Stone Cold. Devon's down. Jericho's down. Everybody's down. Tony, what's next for you?
Well, I'm driving to. Good thing about now the next venue, which is tonight in Nashville. I don't have to get on an airplane. I can drive it.
How long of a drive is that for you?
3 hours.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
I never understood why people fly when it's a 3-hour drive. You got to get there an hour early. You got to deal with your luggage. You got to go through security. What if there's a delay? It's just 3 hours.
Yeah, it's going to take you 3 hours normally anyway.
Yeah.
You got to get to the airport.
Yes.
About 2 hours ahead of time, right?
Yes.
It's 45 minutes drive to the airport. You got the security check. It's. Do
you go 2 hours early to the airport? I go an hour.
I go an hour before my boarding time.
I got you.
Right. And they usually board 45 minutes before flight time. So I'm there an hour 45 before the flight takes off. Look at this ankle lock from Kurt on Booker T and a referee bump again.
Yeah, we're home stretching it. We got both guys down.
Yeah.
And now here comes the big finish. Hey, you haven't spent a lot of time talking about your sister Franny on the show. We saw her earlier in the big photo. What'd she think of the Hall of Fame, and how cool was it to catch up with her?
It was great. I haven't seen Franny in many, many months, and she was very emotional during the Hall of Fame speech because she was thinking about mom and dad. And I didn't bring this up during the if I can just get serious for a second, I didn't bring this up at the wait a minute, let's watch Mr. McMahon bullcock somebody with a belt. I did not bring this up during the he slides it in for Kurt Angle. Oh, and it becomes a McMahon angle. As in a McMahon storyline. Kurt Angle's the star in this thing, man.
No doubt. He got a huge reaction coming out too.
Yeah. Now the ankle lock again and a tap and it's over. Anyway, so she was very emotional during the whole thing. She was thinking about mom. Mom did see me doing wrestling. Dad did not. He never saw me doing wrestling. And here's something that's very, very, my daughter Laurie said, this was not a coincidence. And I didn't bring this up, and I should have. My father died 50 years to the day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 50 years. July 19th, 1974 is when Dad passed away.
My goodness.
Yeah. So isn't that just kind of like, I don't know, I think it's a coincidence. Laurie said it was meant to be.
Yes.
I didn't bring it up. I just didn't bring it up. My Laurie and Chris did just a phenomenal job of introing me and inducting me into the Hall of Fame. So anyway, that is that.
Well, Tony, we got your ass in the Hall of Fame.
You sure did.
We just saw the invasion, and you're thinking what I'm thinking.
That's how it sounded with my when I walked up to be inducted into Hall of Fame.
Here's oh wait, do you hear that?
No, but I'm seeing Paul E. down on one knee applauding Stone Cold.
Yeah, everybody's going to start drinking beers now. Stone Cold has turned on the WWF. He's now a part of the alliance. He's with WCW and ECW.
Wow.
And they're all going to chug beer here, but unfortunately, Tony, that must mean it's about that time.
It is about that time, Conrad. And the only thing I can say is thank you to everybody who came to the Hall of Fame and was a part of this. It was a special, special day, a night for my entire family. And even though my family got stuck in Waterloo, it was a night we will never forget. And for all of us here at What Happened When?
On Hood.
We'll see you next time. Every Wednesday, we come to you on Westwood One, Cumulus. But on Mondays, we come to you on
Patron, patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com.
And that is with or without E. coli.